For the most part, college students don't read fast enough to keep up with the demands of their reading assignment. Let's just say that the typical college reads 100 to 300 words per minute. Okay, the professor in the visualization uses the topic from chapter 1 of the textbook for 3 lectures in the first week of the semester. Each page has about 500 words on it, and that includes space for pictures and drawing. So, 150 words per minute, let me see. Each page will take more than 3 minutes to complete, and if my figure are right, that's almost 3 hours just to read the text assignment one through, and that doesn't even count what you need to think and connect the lecture with the book, and you can be sure that there will be additional reading or other assignments besides the lecture and the textbook. Have you heard about the time to roll? Isn't that mean a student should spend 2 hours of study time for every hour of class time in every subject? Exactly. Okay, I think you agree that reading first is important to succeed in college. So it is only practical to learn to read faster. And that's why I'm going to talk with you about the human capacity for reading and some habits that you may have that could be slowing you down. First, I want you to think about reading like you think about running. The more you run, the faster and the further you can go. And the more you read, the faster you're going to read. In fact, researchers hypothesize that our physical capacity to read surpasses our ability to turn the pages. In other words, our brain can take in the information faster than our hand can move. So reading 700 to 1,000 words a minute should be a reasonable goal for almost everyone. That would be quite a time saver, wouldn't it? Yeah, sure, it would. Now let's talk about why most of us probably aren't reading at the speed at 1,000 minutes. Why we're not doing that? No, we know that we have the capacity that our brain can take it in. But there are few habits that prevent the reader from reaching the target speed of 700 to 1,000 words. In the first place, some people are auditory readers. That means they hear every word in their minds. Some people even move their lips, so they seem to be speaking while they're reading. This is a serious problem because we can only speak about 300 words per minute, but our capacity to read is many times faster. So if you're hearing the word in your head or moving your lips, you know that you're preventing your mind from processing as fast as it can. Any of you relate to that? I hear every word. A lot of people do. Now, another problem is something called fixation. Fixation is the actual poses that the eye makes. We can't see while the eye is moving, so we have to stop to take the test. Everyone has to fix it to see the brain. But some people, they stop their eyes on every single word, and that will really slow down. So if you're looking at every word or even every few words, that habit is something to work on. When you're not reading by word, your mind has to connect and build association and patterns. So much written text is redundant, and that means that there's a lot of repetition. So quite a few words can be skipped without losing the meaning. So you're saying we should try to get the meaning, to produce rather than guess. But basically, the answer to your question is yes. Now, this may surprise you. Using the dictionary is a good habit, right? Well, yes, in moderation. But stopping to look up every new word in bad habit because you don't need to know every word you were reading. Remember what I just said about redundancy? So stopping to use the dictionary too often, that interrupts your train of thought and prevents you from reaching your potential reading speed. I've heard that before and it makes sense, but you're afraid to try it? That's probably true. Well, I'll come back to that in a minute. First, I want to point out one more problem. A lot of readers go back over the word they've already read to clarify the meaning, but this is probably the worst habit because when we are repeating twice or even more times, that causes our reading speed to drop, and it goes to 50 or even 30% of our capacity. Did I mention that this is called regression? Okay. Well, this regression not only slows us down, it also makes it more difficult to understand the meaning because the way that we comprehend, we understand by connecting with the next phrase. So going back all the time makes us lose connections. And this is what's really important to know about this. Research demonstrates a correlation between study and comprehension. In an overwhelming number of cases, when students increase their reading speed, they also increase their comprehension of the material. So how can you do this? First, break the habit that they're causing you to read slowly. Don't think the word in your head and move your lips to sound out each word. Don't let your eyes pause on every word. Don't look up every new word in the dictionary. And try not to go back over a paragraph you've already read. But that's hard to do the habit, isn't it? Especially if you're also trying to read it in order to learn a new subject. That's why you're afraid to try it. Because you have to learn the content in order to pass the course, and you don't want to try something new to take a risk. Yeah, that's the other side of it. Well, I understand that, but you can take a risk and try to change some of these habits, but it helps if you do it in a structured environment like the learning center. It's free, and you're more than make up for the reading offer. You begin to all over your assignment at twice the speed reading them now.